Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Everyone, welcome. Today we're going to continue reading the stories of the Prophet. And today we're going to read the chapter 15, the story of Moses. So I'm going to say their names as per Arabic, as per the Quran, where they mention their names. And since his story is very thick, look at it, it's very thick. Okay, from page 318 to page 454. So we will be doing 3 or 4 videos, inshallah. So I will cut off every 1 hour and then I will continue, and I'll try my best to finish this chapter today if Allah permits, time permits. Okay, we shall start. Drink some water first. Okay. The story of Musa alayhi salam. He was Musa bin Imran bin Qatat bin Azar bin Lewi bin Yaqub bin Ishaq bin Ibrahim, peace be upon them. The Quran say and mention in the book Musa, truly he was chosen, and he was a messenger and a prophet, and we called him from the right side of Mount Tur, and we drew him near to us for a talk with him in secret, and we granted him from our mercy his brother Harun, a prophet. This is from Surah Maryam, chapter 19, verse 51 to 53. The Quran, the story of Musa is mentioned in many different passages in the Quran, sometimes in details and sometimes in short. Here we would mention the account of his life in the light of the Quran and Sunnah, and what was mentioned by the early Muslims from the Israeli, Christian and Jewish sources. The Quran said, Tasim. These are the verses of the manifest book Quran. We related to you the story of Musa and Fir'aun in truth for people who believe. Truly, Fir'aun exalted himself in the land and divided its people into sections, one of which he oppressed, killing their sons and sparing their women. Indeed, he was a corrupter, and we wished to be gracious to those who were oppressed in the land, and to make them leaders, and to make them inheritors, and to establish them in the land, and to show Pharaoh and Haman and their soldiers what they fear from them. This is from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 1 to 6. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned here the gist of the story, which he later expanded it. He mentioned the details of the story to his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in truth, the way it happened. Surely, Pharaoh exalted himself in the land and divided its people into sections. He rebelled in arrogance and was haughty. He preferred this world to the hereafter and disobeyed the Lord. He divided his people from sections. Some of them were made to live the life of subservience and humiliation, and they were the children of Israel. They were the best of their time. Remember, best of their time. So the current state of Israel, the Israelis, and the past, the Israel, the children of Israel, the progeny of Yaqub alayhi salam, are not the same people. Okay, they are not the same people. They were the best of their time. Pharaoh exploited them and dealt them unjustly, like how the Israelis are now unjustly treating the Palestinian people, forcing them to take up only the lowest of professions. Not only that, he also killed their males and sparing their females. The current state, they are not sparing both boys and girls, men and women. The Quran said killing of their sons and sparing their women, instead indeed he was a corrupter. The reason behind this evil practice was belief of the Israelites that there will come from a child from the progeny of Ibrahim salam, who will destroy the kingdom of Fir'aun. It happened when Sarah, the wife of Ibrahim salam, passed through Egypt, and there the king of Egypt tried to misbehave with her, but Allah saved her and gave her these glad tidings. From that, your progeny, there will come a boy who will destroy this kingdom. This glad tidings was very famous among Israelites. The Coptic people of the Egypt talked about it till it reached to the Pharaoh through some of his ministers. Pharaoh then commanded to slay all the male children of Israelites, fearing from this child. Okay, pause over here. Do you know why they still keep killing children over and over and over? Because they know that one day those children will come and they will seek their revenge, or they'll get victory. Suddi has narrated from Ibn Abbas and other companions. Pharaoh had a dream that a fire came from the direction of Al-Quds, Jerusalem. So Jerusalem, I'm going to say Al-Quds, and burnt all the Coptic people and their houses, and did not harm Israelites. When he woke up, he was frightened of his dream. He gathered all the priests, soothsayers, and sorcerers, and asked them the interpretation of his dream. They said, "There will be born a boy from these people who will destroy the people of Egypt." So Pharaoh ordered to kill all newborn baby boys and leave the girls alive. Pause over here. I've listened to some of the scholars, the ustads, some mufti speaks on YouTube. It is said that they will monitor all women walking, all pregnant women walking, about who are pregnant, who is not pregnant, and they'll monitor. And when she's delivering, the moment the baby comes out from her, they immediately uncheck to see whether it's a boy or a girl. If it's a boy, they unalive the baby boy. That's how cruel Fir'aun was. And that's how cruel the current state is, killing children, not sparing both boys and girls. Stop saying you're the chosen one. You only choose to go to hell. Bi'idnillah. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in chapter 25 verse 5 and chapter 28 verse 5 and 6, "And we wish to be gracious to those who were oppressed in the land, the Israelites, and to make them leaders and to make them inheritors. They will take up the charge of the affairs of Egypt, and to establish them in the land, and to show Pharaoh and Haman and their soldiers what they fear from. We will grant strength and control to those who were weak and suppressed. This divine promise has been fulfilled. Listen, has been fulfilled. As the Quran said, we have and we gave heritage to those who had been abased and kept low the eastern part of the western parts of the land, which we blessed, and perfectly was fertile the most fair word of your Lord upon the children of Israel, because they endured patiently. So now we know who's enduring patiently, in this current situation. This is from Surah Al-Araf, chapter 7, verse 137. So we expelled them from the gardens and springs and treasures and fine dwellings. So it was that they were expelled, and we caused children of Israel to inherit them. From Surah Al-Shura, chapter 26, verse 57 to 59. So whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them has already passed. Okay, it's already passed, and they are not going to get it, they cannot claim it anymore because it's already gone. So whatever Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's time, his moment, those who believe in Allah and the Prophet will have whatever Allah mentioned in the Quran. Okay, so now let's continue. The birth of Musa. Fir'aun took every step to make sure that Musa salam could not be born. He even appointed men and midwives who could check routinely upon pregnant women and know the possible time of their delivery. No woman gave birth to a baby boy, but the people of Fir'aun slew him that very moment, like what I said earlier. The people of the book said Fir'aun committed the killing of boys only to demoralize Israelites and weaken their power. So never could they oppose Fir'aun or fight against him. Sounds familiar. However, this is not true. This may have happened after Musa salam was sent as prophet, as the Quran said. So, when we brought them the truth from us, they said, kill the sons of those who believe with him and spare their women. That is why the Israelites said to Musa, we have heard before you came to us and after you came to us. So this is from Surah Al-Ghafir, chapter 40, verse 25, and Surah Al-Araf, chapter 7, verse 1 to 9. So the truth is that Fir'aun ordered the killing of boys in the first place to make sure Musa salam is not born. It was through the divine decree was saying, O arrogant king, you are proud of your soldiers, power, and huge kingdom. But the one who is more majestic than you, the one who is never dominated, and who writes the fate of the people, had decided that this boy would be born. You have killed numerous children because out of fear of that one boy. But he is born, and not only born, but he will be brought up now in your own palace under your own eyes. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to humiliate somebody, He will humiliate them very easily. So those people who are presently suffering in the land by the oppressors, with the support of the other oppressors, colonizers, remember, you may plan, Allah has planned, and Allah is the best planner. You never know what's going to come for you. He will eat in your palace, he will live in your palace, and he will sleep in your palace. He will become your adopted son, but you will never come to disclose this truth right until the last minute. Then the boy will destroy you and your kingdom because you would reject the truth revealed to him. Know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who does whatever He wills. There is no one to oppose Him. Many exegetes said the Coptic population complained to Fir'aun that Israelites are getting less and less in number because of the killing of their boys, so the old and the young may perish soon. Consequently, they may lose the manpower of Israelites and to be forced to carry out work which they did. So Fir'aun found it an economically and socially sound solution and hence decreed a new order that from now we will kill the children for 1 year and then spare to leave those who were born during the following year. It is said that Harun alayhi salam was born in the year of pardon when the children were not killed, and Musa alayhi salam was born in the year when they were being killed. Musa alayhi salam's mother was very worried from the moment she got pregnant. However, the sign of pregnancy did not show on her. When she gave birth to Musa alayhi salam, it was inspired to her that she should make a chest and tie it with a long rope, with the other end tied it with her house. As her house was on the bank of the Nile, she would feed him, and whenever she had any fear, she would place him in the chest and let the rope loose so it could hide in the reeds in the Nile. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and we inspired the mother of Musa, suckle the child, and when you fear for him, cast him into the river, and do not fear nor grieve. We shall return him to you, and we shall make him one of the messengers. Then the family of Fir'aun picked him up, that Musa alayhi salam should be to them in adversary and a cause of sorrow. Surely Fir'aun, Haman, and their soldiers were sinners. And Fir'aun's wife said, he will be delighted to my eyes and yours. Do not kill him. He may be of to use, or we may take him as a son. And they did not make sense to what was to come. This is from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 7 to 9. The inspiration mentioned in the book in the above verse, it is not the inspiration of prophethood. Basically, I need to pause. Assalamualaikum again. Sorry, I have to cut off the video because I have to answer that call. So I have to redo my live, and I will upload all my live videos later on my YouTube channel. You can take a look over there. So let us continue. The inspiration mentioned in the above verse is not the inspiration of the prophethood. Rather, it's the same kind that is mentioned in the verse regarding the beast. The Quran said, and your Lord inspired the beast, take your dwelling in the hills, in the tree, and in the trellis. What is it? Okay. Eat all the fruits and follow the way of your Lord in humility. This is from Surah Nahl, chapter 16, verse 68 to 69. Suhaili said, in the name of Musa alayhi salam's mother was Jochebed. She was inspired in her heart that there will cause no fear even if he disappeared. Allah will return him and bring him back to her, because he was going to send him as his prophet and messenger. He will be a person of honor in this world and the hereafter. She used to do what she had been commanded. However, one day, when she let the chest go to the Nile, she forgot to tie it with her house. Now the chest went on till it passed by the Pharaoh's place. So the family of Pharaoh picked him up that Musa alayhi salam should be to them an adversary and a cause of sorrow. Surely Pharaoh, Haman, and their soldiers are sinners. This is what the book mentioned. Musa alayhi salam enters Pharaoh's palace. Exegetes have mentioned that the slave girls of Pharaoh picked him up from the Nile from his chest that was closed. They did not have courage to open it, so they brought it in front of the wife of Pharaoh, Asiyah binti Muzahim bin Ubaid bin Riyan bin Walid, who was the Pharaoh in the time of Yusuf alayhi salam. It also suggested that she was from Israelites from Musa alayhi salam's clan. And in another narration, it is said that she was the aunt. That is how Swahili was narrated. We will speak further about her when we come to the story of Mary bint Imran, and that they both will be among the wives of the Prophet in paradise. Okay, this one we do not accept that Maryam alayhi salam will not be the wife of Rasulullah in paradise. This is some mistake. Okay, Maryam alayhi salam is very... Rasulullah said that Isa alayhi salam is his brother, so that makes Maryam alayhi salam his mother. That's what I'm saying, but there's no proof that this will happen. Just a minute. Okay, so when Asiyah opened the chest, she found a boy whose face was bright and awesome. She loved him from the very moment she saw him. When Pharaoh came, he asked her, "What is it?" and commanded to slay him, but she asked Pharaoh to offer her the baby as a gift and said that he will be a delight to my eyes and yours. Pharaoh said, "A delight for you, yes, but not a delight for me." No. He may be of use to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala indeed benefited her what she had hoped for. He guided her in this world and in the hereafter. She will be of those who enter paradise. Or we take him as a son by adopting him as a son, because Pharaoh and his wife has no children, and they did not sense what to come. They were completely unaware of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was hidden from them. And this child was going to smash their kingdom into pieces. The people of the book say that the one who forgot him in the Nile was the Pharaoh's daughter. The one who got him from the Nile was Pharaoh's daughter, and there is no mention of his wife, which is totally wrong from the Quranic point of view. This is from the source from the Bible, Exodus 2. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "And the heart of Musa, mother, became void, and she almost disclosed his case, and we did not strengthen her heart with faith. And she said to his sister, follow him, so watched him from a distance while they were not aware. And we had ordained that he refused to be suckled by any foster mother, so she said, shall I show you a family who will look after him for you and be conscientious? Thus did we return him to his mother, that her eyes will be delighted, and she is not grieved, and that she would know that the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is true, but most of them do not know. Okay. Earlier Quranic verses from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verses 10 to 13. Sorry, I have to reply message. Pucung semua. Pucung. I have to reply a message coming into my phone at the same time. Okay, continue. Ibn Abbas, Mujahid and others say that the heart of Musa salam's mother become void means it become void from everything concerning this world. So she was so distressed that all she could think about Musa, and she almost disclosed this case. She was about to disclose to people about what she had done and start asking about Musa salam openly. And she said to his sister that this is her eldest daughter. Follow him wherever she was going and bring him his news. So she watched him from distance while they were not aware. Once Musa salam was taken inside the Pharaoh's palace and they wanted to keep him, they looked for someone who could foster that child. However, he did not fed from any foster mother, neither he did not eat any food from anyone. They became helpless, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, and we have ordained that he would refuse to be suckled by any foster mother. They sent him with midwives and in escort of other women to the market so that they might find someone who could feed him. While they were waiting there, Musa salam's sister spotted him, and without giving any hint that she was his sister, she said to them, "Shall I direct you to a family who will look after him for you and be conscious?" Ibn Abbas said that when she said that, they asked her, "How did you know about their being conscientious to him?" She said, "I only wanted the happiness of the king and his benefit." Very smart girl. So they released her and took her to the house. His mother took him and put him to her breast. He immediately started suckling, and they felt overjoyed and sent a messenger to inform Ausia. Ausia immediately announced her to the palace and offered her to stay in the palace, which she did not accept. She said that she had a husband and children, so she could not stay here to suckle a baby unless she sent him to her. Ausia agreed to her proposal and appointed a grant for her. She gave her the expenses for the baby boy. So Musa alayhi salam's mother happily returned with her son to her home. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, thus we did return him to his mother, that her eye may be delighted, and she did not grieve, and that she would know that the promise of Allah is true, but most of them do not know. Give me a moment, I have to reply these messages. Okay. So Musa alayhi salam's mother happily returned with her son to her home. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, thus did we not return him to his mother, that her eye may be delighted and she is not grieved, and that she would know that the promise of Allah is true, but most of them do not know. It was so great a divine favor upon Musa alayhi salam that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned it to Musa alayhi salam when he spoke to him on Mount Tur. Okay, this is one of my favorite chapter. And indeed we have conferred a favor on you another time, when we inspired your mother, cast him into the chest, and cast the chest into the river. The river will slowly take him upon the bank, and he will be taken to the enemy of mine and his. And I bestow on you love from me, that you may be brought up under my eye. From Surah Taha, verse 20, chapter 20, verse 37 to 39. No one saw Musa alayhi salam except that he or she would come to love him from that very moment. Qatada and other scholars said that Asiya dressed him with best clothes, fed him with best food, and provided him of best opportunity for play and entertainment. This is all from Allah, and that what is meant by being brought up under my eye. When your sister walked forth and said, shall I direct you to one who may nurse him? So we returned you and your mother, so she may be delighted, and she may not grieve. Then you did slay a man, so we rescue you from grief, and we tried you with a heavy trial. This is from Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 40. Allah also said in the Quran, chapter 28, Surah Al-Qasas, verse 14 to 17. And when he reached his full age, he was firmly established. We bestowed upon him wisdom and knowledge, and thus do we reward those who do good. And he entered the city at a time when its people were at noon rest, and he found two people fighting there, one of them from his own people and the other from his enemy. The one from his own people pleaded for him to help him against his enemy. So Musa alayhi salam struck him with his fist and killed him. He said, this is the work of Shaitan, surely he is a manifest misleading enemy. He prayed, O my Lord, I have wronged myself, so please forgive me. So Allah forgave him. He is all forgiving and all merciful. He said, my Lord, due to what you have bestowed upon me, I shall never be a help to those who sin. Before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, mentioned his favor upon Musa alayhi salam's mother, now she has started the story of Musa alayhi salam when he reached his puberty and life of wisdom and knowledge. which is from the viewpoint of many scholars, the age of 40. The wisdom and knowledge points to the prophethood and being sent as a divine messenger, and indeed was his mother inspired. We shall return him to you, and we shall make him one of the messengers. From Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 7. Okay, I have to end this video now. And then I'll be continue later because I need to do something very important. I'm receiving important messages. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are going to continue. This is our second video in continuous of reading the story of the prophet, story of Musa alayhi salam. Okay, I already did my first video and I will upload it in my YouTube channel, and inshallah we will read this until 4 p.m. because it's Asr is around 4:15 p.m. and then after Asr prayers, inshallah I'll continue with the rest. Okay. Musa alayhi salam skills. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the reason why Musa alayhi salam had to leave Egypt and to go to Midian and stay there for a time. Also mentioned is how he received the revelation, and when he would return from Midian after the completion of his agreement, as the details will follow. Allah said, enter the city at the time when its people were at noon rest. Ibn Abbas, Sutti, Qatada, and others say that it was the time of the afternoon when most people go for siesta, a short nap. However, in other opinion from Ibn Abbas, it was a time between sunset and Isha time. Sunset and Isha time is Maghrib. And he found two people fighting there, one of them from the own people, Israelites, and the other was from his enemies, Coptic. The one from his own plead for him to help against the enemy. Musa alayhi salam had a free access and power in Egypt because of his relation to Pharaoh. Israelites have also felt elevated and proud that they have fostered Musa, so they are his cousins in suckling. So when the Israeli plead Musa alayhi salam for help against the Coptic Egyptian, Musa alayhi salam came to him and struck him with his fist, and so he killed him. This was powerful blow. That Coptic Egyptian was a disbeliever. Nonetheless, Musa alayhi salam did not intend to kill him. He only wanted to restrain him and rebuke him. That is why Musa alayhi salam said, this is the work of Shaitan. Surely he is a manifest misleading enemy. He prayed, O my Lord, I've wronged myself, so please forgive me. So Allah forgave him, and Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. He said, O my Lord, due to what you have bestowed upon me, I shall never be a help to those who sin. So now I'm wondering, is Musa alayhi salam's punch so strong, or is the Egyptian guy so weak? So he became fearful and worried in the city, and the man who had pleaded for his help the day before sought his help again. Musa alayhi salam said to him, surely you are belligerent. But when Musa alayhi salam was about to assault the man who was an enemy to them both, the man said, O Musa, would you slay me today as you slew a living soul yesterday? You only wish to be tyrant in the land, and you do not wish to be of those who seek righteousness. A man came running from the farthest part of the city, saying, O Musa, the chief are conspiring to slay you, so depart this place. I am your sincere advisor. This is from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 18 to 20. Just wanted to say, These Israelites people, they are a bit weird. This, according to me, not from the book, but to me, this is a bit weird. They had this kind of audacity to challenge God, to challenge God, to challenge the teaching, to challenge everything, and then cry victim. So victim blaming, victim card is nothing new for them. It's very common. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High, informs us that Musa alayhi salam became frightened in Egypt from the Pharaoh, from Fir'aun and his establishment, that he may come to discover that the Coptic who was killed by him while helping an Israelite. Now it will strengthen their doubt if they come to know about it that Musa actually belonged to them. So Musa alayhi salam, when he came to the city on the next morning, was fearful and worried. Turning to his attention, either sides are doubt. While he was passing by, he saw the same Israeli fighting with another Coptic Egyptian and seeking his help against him. Musa alayhi salam rebuked the Israeli and approached him for being involved in fighting again and said, "Surely you are a belligerent." And then went to hit the Coptic Egyptian, but the Israelite thought it was otherwise and said, "Oh Musa, will you slay me today as you slew a living soul yesterday? You only wish to be a tyrant in the land, and you do not wish to be of those who seek righteousness." This disclosure was from the Israelite, who was well aware of this incident. When he saw Musa salam coming towards the Coptic Egyptian, he thought probably he was coming to hit him, since he had rebuked him, saying, "You are surely a belligerent." Hence, when he said to Musa alayhi salam, "Would you slay me today as you slew a living soul yesterday?" the Coptic Egyptian came to know the secret and disclosed it to the Fir'aun. It was also possible that this disclosure may have come from the Coptic Egyptian, and when he saw Musa alayhi salam coming to him, he was frightened and had guessed that he was probably the killer of the yesterday's victim, or may have come to know from the Israelite he was fighting with. The news reached Fir'aun that it was Musa alayhi salam who killed yesterday's victim. So Fir'aun sent his police in his pursuit. However, a man, a sincere friend, Musa alayhi salam, brought the news of their decision before the police arrived. A man came running from the farthest part of the city, saying, "O Musa, the chiefs are conspiring to slay you, so depart this place, go out of this country. I am your sincere advisor." Okay, so now Musa alayhi salam goes to Madian. He departed from Egypt at once, not knowing where to go and in which direction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "So he departed there in fear with a conscience, saying, 'My Lord, save me from these evildoers.' And when he set off towards Midian, he said, 'I hope that my Lord will guide me to the right path.' And when he reached to the wells of Midian, he found thereupon a group of men watering their flocks. And he found besides them 2 women trying to keep their flocks apart. So he said, 'What is the matter with you?' The 2 women said, 'We cannot draw water until the shepherds have gone away, and our father is very old man.' So he drew water from them. Then he went to sit in the shade. He said, 'My Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me.'" From Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 21 to verse 24. So it's very good for us to make this dua as well. "My Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me." Anytime, whether you want to find job or schools or lecture or something or whatever, you are in distress, it's best for us to recite the dua that our prophets, peace be upon them, all recite. This verses tells us the story of Musa alayhi salam when he departed from Egypt in fear of pursuit, not knowing where he was heading to because he had never got out of Egypt before. And when he set off towards Madian, he took the direction of the towns of Madian and said, I hope that my Lord will guide me to the right path. I hope this path may lead me to a destination. And so it happened. And when he reached the wells of Madian, from these wells the people of Madian took their water for themselves and for their flocks. Madian was a city where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destroyed the people of Thicket. They were the people of Shu'aib alayhi salam. If you go back to my previous videos, you can see about Shu'aib alayhi salam. However, when Musa alayhi salam approached the wells, he found thereupon a group of men watering their flocks. He found besides them 2 women trying to keep their flocks apart from the flocks of others so that they could not mix with them. The people of the book said that there were 7 sisters who came to water their flock. In book of Exodus 2. This is wrong. From our point of view, this may have been 7 sisters, but only 2 of them went to water their flocks. However, from the Quranic point of view, there were only 2 sisters. Musa alayhi salam inquired of them, what is the matter with you? The 2 women said, we cannot draw water until the shepherds have gone away, and our father is a very old man. We could not water our flocks until all shepherds have gone away with their flocks. We are weak and we cannot get involved in any dispute. We have come to water them because our father is an old man who could not do it, so he drew water for them. The exegetes say when the shepherds have watered their flock, they would put back a huge stone on the mouth of the well. Then those 2 women would come and water their flock from the water left over from their flocks of shepherd. However, that day Musa alayhi salam came and removed the stone and watered the flocks for them, and then put the stone back on its place. Khalifah Umar radiallahu anh said that it was so huge stone that it could only be lifted by 10 men. Then he went to sit in the shade and said, my Lord, okay, just now I was saying, right, whether the guy is too weak or Musa alayhi salam too strong. Musa alayhi salam is very strong based on this. Then he went to sit in the shade and said, oh my Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me. Ibn Abbas said Musa alayhi salam went from Egypt to Madian eating only plants and leaf. He was barefoot and his stomach was struck to his back as a result of hunger. And he desperately needed some decent food. Arthur bin Sa'id said that when Musa alayhi salam said, my Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me, he said it loudly so the woman heard it. Okay, let's drink some water. Musa alayhi salam gets refuge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Qasas chapter 25 to 28, then one of the 2 women came to him walking bashfully. She said, my father invites you that he may reward you for drawing water for us. So when he came to him and related to him his story, he said, do not be afraid. you have escaped from the evildoers. One of the two women said, O my father, hire him. Surely the best of those you can hire is the one who is strong and trustworthy. He said, I intend to give you one of these two daughters of mine in marriage, provided you serve me for 8 years. However, if you complete 10, that will be grace from you. I do not want a place any hardship upon you. If Allah wills, you surely find me a righteous man. He said, be that the agreement between you and me, whichever of the two terms I fulfill, there shall be no injustice to me, and Allah is all witness. That we say. Remember, the story of Yaqub alayhi salam and story of Musa alayhi salam. Both of them are prophets. Musa alayhi salam and Yaqub alayhi salam, both of them are prophets. They serve their father-in-law to marry their daughters. So how shall I put that word? It's really amazing and interesting, It's very amazing and interesting. Because you see, it's not like work for 1 year or 7 months or 8 months, it's years. So they want to see how dedicated you are. If you can actually, what worthy of taking care of their daughters. Then when the woman came back home early, their father was surprised to see them home early. They related the incident to their father, who then asked one of them to go back and bring him home. Then one of the two women came to him walking bashfully. The woman bashfully came to Musa alayhi salam and delivered the message. She said, my father invites you that he may reward you for drawing water for us. Musa alayhi salam went with her to her home to meet her father. She told him about himself and related to him his story. When he finished, the old man told him not to worry anymore because he was now away from their jurisdiction. And when he related to him this story, he said, do not be afraid, we have escaped from the evildoers. After Musa alayhi salam was entertained in honor, one of the daughters said to her father, O father, hire him. She asked her father to hire Musa alayhi salam for looking after their flock, and then she praised him for being strong and trustworthy. Musa alayhi salam and Umar radiallahu anhu and Ibn Abbas and many others say, when his daughter said that he asked her, how do you know that? She said, he lifted the rock which not less than 10 people could lift it. And when I led him home by being in front of him, he said, walk behind me. When you have changed the path, just throw a pebble on the path and I will know. So in Islam, it's not ladies first. Okay, there's a reason why. When I continue reading, you will hear it. He said, I intend to give you one of these two daughters of mine in marriage, provided you serve me for 8 years. However, if you complete 10 years, that will be grace from you. And I do not want to place any hardship upon you. If Allah wills, you shall find me a righteous man. The Hanbali school of thought have inferred upon this verse that one can employ one for food and clothing. They supposed their opinion by a hadith which narrated by Ibn Majah under the title Chapter of Employing One for Food. Ali ibn Rabah said that he heard Utbah bin Nadar saying, when we were sitting near the Prophet ﷺ, he was recited Surat Tasimim, and after the story of Musa alayhi salam, he said, Musa alayhi salam employed himself for 8 years or 10 years for his modesty and for feeding himself. Ibn Majah 2444. Be that the agreement between you and me, whichever of the two terms I fulfill, there shall be no injustice to me, and Allah is witness to what we say. Musa alayhi salam told his father-in-law that the agreement that was an agreement between them. If he had fulfilled either of the terms, there is no injustice will be done to him, and they made Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the witness for the agreement. However, Musa alayhi salam fulfilled their term for 10 years. Imam Bukhari narrated from Sa'id ibn Jubair saying, a Jew asked me about which of the terms Musa alayhi salam fulfilled. I said, I do not know till I come to the most knowledgeable person of Arab and ask him. So I came to Ibn Abbas and I asked him about it. He said he fulfilled the best of it and the longer of it. It's from Bukhari and An-Nasai. Musa alayhi salam and Mount Tur. When Musa alayhi salam had fulfilled the term and departed with his family, he perceived a fire on the side of the Mount Tur. He said to his family, stay here, I see a fire. I hope I bring you from there some information, or bring you some burning fire from it, that you may warm yourself. When he came to the fire, he was called from the right side of the valley from a tree in the blessed ground. O Musa, I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds, and threw down your staff. So when he threw it, it quivering like a snake. He ran away and did not come back. O Musa, come back and fear not, for you are quite secure, and put your hand into your bosoms, and when it come out, it'll be white without stain. And draw your hand close to your side to be free from fear. Those are the two proofs from your Lord to Fir'aun and his chiefs, for indeed they are wicked people. This is from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 29 to 32. After Musa alayhi salam has fulfilled the term of 10 years, he left with his family heading back to Egypt. He was keen to see his family back in Egypt. It was said that this journey happened to be in a dark, cold night. They lost their way and could not see anything. While he was wandering about, he spotted fire at distance in the direction of Mount Tur. Then he said to his family, stay here, I see a fire. It seemed that he spotted a fire and it could not be seen by the rest of his family. That fire was actually a light which could not be seen by anyone. Musa alayhi salam said, I hope I may bring you from there some information from our direction, or to bring you some burning fire from it, that you may warm yourself. This is an evidence that they had lost their way in a cold night. This is also clear from another verse in Surah Taha, chapter 9 to 10. And we have heard you, O Musa. And have you heard the story of Musa? When he perceived the fire, he said to his family, wait here, I've seen a fire. Perhaps I shall bring you burning brand from it, or I may find a fire a guide. Or as it said in Surah Al-Naml, chapter 27, verse 7, when Musa alayhi salam said to his family, I perceive a fire, I may bring you some information, or I may bring you a burning brand of fire that you may warm yourself. So Musa alayhi salam came to it, and he got the information, and how great an information it was. He received the guidance, and now how great guidance it was. Allah said, when he came to the fire, he was called from the right side of the valley from the tree on the blessed ground, O Musa, I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds, from chapter 28, verse 30. It also described the event in Surah An-Naml. So when he came to eat, he was called, blessed is he who is in the fire and the one who is around it, and glory be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds. O Musa, I am Allah, the Almighty, the All-Wise. From Surah An-Naml, chapter 27, verse 8 and 9. And Allah also said in Surah Taha, so when he came to eat, he was called, O Musa, indeed I am your Lord. Take off your shoe, and you are in the sacred valley of Tuwa, and I have chosen you. So listen to what is revealed. Indeed I am Allah, there is no God worthy of worship but I. Therefore worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. Certainly the hour is coming, and I have almost concealed it in that every soul may recompense for its deeds. Therefore let not him who disbelieves in it and follow his own lust divert you from it, lest you perish. Okay. In Surah Taha was revealed to Musa alayhi salam. This is from me, not from the book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the hour is coming. Okay, where it says certainly the hour is coming. So it's what, like 5,000 years ago? So for 5,000 years ago, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had told Musa alayhi salam the hour is near. So from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and us is like 1,400, 1,500 years between that connection. Okay, it's between that connection. So from his time, if the hour is near, for hours it's like minutes or seconds. Or I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. That was so let's continue. Many exegetes have said that when Musa alayhi salam went towards the fire, he perceived it and came to it. He found it burning in a great thorny tree. It was getting so bright that the tree was so green by every passing moment that Musa alayhi salam stood calm in astonishment. Musa alayhi salam was in a valley called Tuwa, and Musa alayhi salam was standing facing the Qibla. That tree was on the right side, from the west direction. When his Lord called him out from this valley, his first commandment him was to take off the shoes to show his respect to that place. The people of the book say Musa alayhi salam hid his face from the brightness of that light, from Exodus book Exodus 3. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam saying, O Musa, I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds, and indeed I am Allah, there is no God worthy of worship but I. Therefore worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. This was the first message or revelation to Musa alayhi salam. I am the Lord of the worlds, beside whom there is no other God worthy of worship. He deserves all praises and all devotion and acts of worshipping, and that prayer should be established for him. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him that this world is not a world to stay forever. The world to last is only in the hereafter, which is inevitably going to happen, so that every soul may be recompensed for its deed. If good, then good. If it's evil, then evil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Musa alayhi salam to work for good and to avoid those who disobey him and to follow their lust. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam, O Musa, what is that in your right hand? Allah asked him about his staff and its nature, which Musa used which Musa held in his hand since a long time, because Musa was quite sure that it was nothing but a wooden staff. Musa salam said, "This is my staff. I lean upon it, I beat down the leaves with it to feed my sheep, and in it I find other use too." Musa salam said, "Yes, this is my staff, and I am quite familiar with it." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Throw it down, O Musa." So he threw it down, and it turned into a snake slithering. It was a magnificent miracle and an ultimate proof that the one who spoke with him from the tree is the one who created things. The people of the book say Musa salam asked Allah for a proof which he could verify his claim when he goes to Fir'aun. So Allah said, "What is that in your hand?" "A staff," he replied. He said, "Throw it on the ground." When Musa salam threw it, it turns into a snake. Musa salam ran fast there. From there, the Lord commanded him to reach out his hand to take it from its tail. When Musa salam hold it from his tail, it turned into a staff in his hand. This is from the book of Exodus, book number 4. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in verse 28-31, "And cast down your staff." So when he threw it a snake, he saw a quivering like a snake. He ran away and did not come back. His staff turned into a huge frightening snake with a big jaw, moving very fast as Musa salam saw it. He ran away without looking back. But when the Lord stopped him, saying, "O Musa, come back and do not fear, for you are quite secure." When Musa salam turned back, Allah commanded him to hold it. "Take it and do not fear it. We shall restore it to its former state." So all this is from Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 11 to verse 21. Surah Taha is one of my favorite chapters of the Quran. Just drink some. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command him to put his hand in his bosom and ask him to take it out. And when he did, it was white without any stain on it, neither any kind of leprosy. That is why he said, "And put your hand in your into your bosom, and it will come out shining white without any stain. And draw your hand close to your side to be free from fear." This is from chapter 28, verse 32. It is said that it means that if you fear, just put your hand on your heart and you will be relieved from your fear. Even though this is peculiar to Musa salam, nonetheless, the blessing of being a true believer make it possible for one who uses it to benefit from them. It seems a manner of following of the Prophet. So it says over here, like say, if you feel scared or fear, just put your hands on your chest and then take it out. It will not turn white, okay? Like what happened to Musa salam is saying that if you feel scared, just put your hand over here. Okay. So Allah said in Surah An-Naml, chapter 27, verse 12, "And place your hand in your bosom, it will come out shining without any stain, among 9 signs to Fir'aun and his people. Indeed, they are a wicked people." So all these 2 signs are from among the 9 signs which Musa salam was given, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, those are 2 proofs from your Lord to Fir'aun and his chiefs, for indeed they are wicked people. The staff and the white hand, besides 7 others, which make it 9 signs altogether that indicate to Surah Al-Isra. And we give Musa 9 clear signs to So asked the children of Israel, when Musa alayhi salam came to them, the Fir'aun said to him, Musa, I think you are enchanted. He said, indeed, you know that none sent this down except the Lord of the heavens and the earth as a clear proof, and I deem you, Fir'aun, be destroyed. From Surah Al-Isra chapter 17 verse 101 to 102. And from Surah Al-Araf chapter 7 verse 130 to 133. And certainly we seized Fir'aun with years of scarcity and diminution of fruit that they might be mindful. So when good came to them, they said, this is our due, but if evil afflict them, they will ascribe it to Musa and those with him. Whereas their misfortune was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but most of them do not know. And they said, whatever signs you may bring to us, enchanted us, we will not believe in you. So we let loose upon them flood and locusts and lice and frogs and blood, clear signs, but they were arrogant and they were sinful people. These 9 signs are different from the 10 commandments. From the 10 commandments, some people have mixed them and thought they are as the same. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Musa alayhi salam to go to Fir'aun and said, he said, my Lord, I have killed one of them, and I fear they may slay me. And my brother Harun is more eloquent in speech than I. So send him with me, so he may support me. Surely I fear they will reject me. He said, we will certainly strengthen your arm with your brother, and we shall give you both such an authority that they will not be able to harm you. So by our sign, you and whoever follows you shall be victors. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disclosed to Musa alayhi salam the mission he was about to take up as messenger, he spelled out his fear and reminded him of what he had done in the past. He said that he had killed the Coptic Egyptian before, and they might take revenge for him so that they may kill him. My Lord, I've killed one of them, and I fear that they may slay me, that they will slay me. And my brother Harun is more eloquent in speech than me. So send him with me so that he may support me. Surely I fear they will reject me. Musa alayhi salam asked Allah for his brother Harun to be appointed his deputy and helper, so he may convey the message in a better way, because his brother was more eloquent than him in speech. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered his request, saying, we will certainly strengthen your arm with your brother, and we shall give you both such an authority that they will not be able to harm you. So by our sign, and you, whoever follows you, shall be victors. This from Surah Taha. Go to Pharaoh. This from Surah Taha, verse 20 to 20, chapter 20, verse 24 to 28. Go to Pharaoh, for he is an insolent tyrant. He said, O my Lord, expand my chest and make my task easier for me, and remove the impediment from my speech so that they may understand what I say. And Hassan Basri said, the messengers only ask according to their need, and that is why some impediment remain in the tongue of Musa salam. Is that why Musa salam went to Fir'aun, he denounced him as being unclear. So he said, and who can scarcely express himself clearly. From Surah Al-Zukhruf, chapter 43 to 52. we will read the last speech and then we will end this video, inshallah. And give me a helper from my family, Harun, and my brother. Add to my strength through him and make him share my task so that we may glorify you without ceasing and remember you frequently. Surely you are all seeing of us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you are granted your request, O Musa. This is from Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 29 to 36. We have responded to all your requests and gave you everything you asked for. This shows the rank of Musa a.s. before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that when he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send revelation to his brother Harun, he accepted to do so. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and he was honorable before Allah, as he also said. From Surah Al-Azab, chapter 33, verse 69, and Surah Al-Maryam, chapter 19, verse 53. And of our mercy we gave him his brother Harun as a prophet. Ul Mu'minin Aisha radiallahu anha heard a man saying to the people while they were on their way to Hajj, has any brother trusted his brother? People kept silence. Aisha radiallahu anha said to those who were on her hawdah, it was Musa alayhi salam. It was Musa's ibn Imran when he interceded to Allah for his brother Harun alayhi salam. Allah sent revelation to him as well. Allah said, and out of our mercy we gave him his brother Harun as prophet. Chapter 19, verse 53. Alright, so now we're going to end this video now here, and we'll continue after the prayer of Asr. We'll go to the next chapter. The subject is Musa alayhi salam going to Fir'aun. The story of Musa alayhi salam is very thick, so you have to take time to complete it. It will take maybe 1 or 2 days, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.